When it comes to the universities of this country, when you look at them from where you stand right now and compare to what they were before, what is their state? Do they have the capacity to do the things that you are suggesting here?
They are more into communication. They are more into ICT, data science. That's just communication. Mm-hmm. If you are dealing with communication without producing, then we cannot move. Yeah. Everybody's talking about innovations in communication. Communication is just part of it. Mm-hmm. But basically, we are supposed to be very keen on producing goods and services that can satisfy the very eight lower fiscal, those things which are like food. Mm-hmm. Which university is producing food?
Egerton.
How much? Can they feed Kenya?
They cannot.
They cannot. Not even so one university should even have calculated how many bags of maize can a human being take, how many human beings are in Kenya, how many acres of land we need, where is water, where are the seeds. That is all. But there is no single university which has calculated to know that Kenya has 55 million human beings. They will need around 110 million bags of maize per year. We grow 20 bags per acre. Then you calculate and know how many acres do you have. Then out of that, you'll know that at least if you have 110 million bags required, then you will need around 5.5 million acres of land.
To do farming and to do farming. Entire country.
Yes, in the entire country. 5.5 million acres of land. 1 kilometer square is 256 acres. So you also divide there and see how many can you get. So around 30,000 square kilometers is the only amount of land you need in Kenya to produce food for Kenyans. And that is only a single county. Tana River is bigger than that land. If you don't plant anywhere, you only plant well, one county in this country, everybody will be satisfied. You don't need to dig every county in this country. You need to farm in one particular area and do a good thing there. Mm-hmm. That's enough. And do not use hands. Because the moment you start using hands, you're not producing. You must use machines, and big machines for farming. Why do you think people in the United States don't touch soils? Because the machines are working on their behalf, and they're producing more food. So we need to do that. But I wanted even to say, the most productive parts of this country is not even in Nyanza, where I come from. Are you aware that the entire Nyanza is smaller than Kilifi County? Kilifi, one county, is bigger in terms of land than the 6 counties in the Lake region. That's one thing people should know. Uh-huh. Dry areas are more productive. They produce livestock and honey. Yeah. And you can also use it for real estate. So dry areas, they only need water. I was saying, if you can pump water from Mombasa, oil from Mombasa to Kisumu, then that's also pump water direct from Tana River to Northeastern. Otherwise, Tana River is part of Northeastern. It passes through Garissa town.
From Tana River to Northeastern?
Yes.
Kila mtu akwe na maji.
Yeah, that is what we need. Because you go to places like Libya, for example. When I read, they have made the artificial rivers. Mm-hmm. Israel, they have made the artificial river. Are you aware? By the way, this country we are talking about, Israel, is smaller than Tsavo National Park of Kenya.
It's smaller.
It's smaller, area-wise.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's like a small thing.
It's a small thing. So in Kenya, we have that big land. Mm-hmm. Because I think Israel is around 21,000 square kilometers, even not 20,000 square kilometers. Mm-hmm. Tsavo East and Tsavo West National Park combined is 21,000 square kilometers. So it means that country you are talking about occupies a small place like a park in Kenya.
But meaning, they do a lot.
But they produce a lot.
Because they can even feed us.
Yes. And I was even telling people are talking about oil. Oil is not a very serious factor of production because now we have alternative fuel. Are you aware that you can leave Kisii to Nairobi without fuel today?
Yes.
Because you can use an electric vehicle, mm-hmm. which means you can use geothermal or solar to move or wind, mm-hmm. which means oil is no longer a very serious threat to production.
Yes.
The only threat to production now is water. That's a threat. And if these universities can think about and go into production, then we can do. We have got 41 public universities in Kenya. If each university can be given to construct roads per county, those students will be engaged.
You don't need to get
Yeah.
contractors from elsewhere.
From elsewhere.
Get
Let
to-
every university be a
Yes.
contractor, a road contractor. Why are the universities not in business, by the way? Who has told them not to be in business? If you look at Stanford University, which has around 17,000 students and 15,000 staff, a ratio of almost 1 to 1, universities in Kenya here are retrenching staff. If a university is retrenching, then who cannot retrench? Universities are supposed to make use of human resource for production, not for TikTok, not for talking, no. It is real machines. Huh? We must go back to the real engineering. We can't say that Safaricom is doing well in terms of communication, but that's communication. Can we re-communicate the whole night without eating? So we must go back to, can we re-talk the whole night without a house where we sleep? So it means we must go back to production. And then largely, let's go back to storytelling. Let people go for tourism and move around. If we are talking about the Ministry of Tourism, the Ministry of Tourism should have its own vehicles. Yeah, so that it's easier for us to travel. For us, we drop money wherever we travel.
So if I want to go to maybe Savo National Park,
Yes.
there are vehicles which are
By the
provided
Ministry of Tourism.
By the Ministry of Tourism.
Yes.
So they generate more income.
They will generate more income. Like even in Kenya,
employment.
I was even talking about universities have no money. How can universities say they don't have money when they have land? Stanford University has released land. It is in real estate. They have sold land to Silicon Valley. Silicon Valley is giving the university a lot of rent end of the month. And at the same time, the students have room to carry out research within the Silicon Valley, within the college. University of Nairobi, for example, should be doing real estate. Why is the University of Nairobi not in the business of constructing houses for rent to generate income? Because they have Upper Hill, which is idle. They have got Lower Kabete, a lot of land, which is idle. Even the University of Nairobi main campus itself has enough land for doing now what you call offices, tall buildings where they can be rented out, and they have enough land. They can't say they don't have, because with current technology, are you aware that Nairobi town is only 200 acres? Miambili too. Yeah. Nairobi CBD is not even 200, 170 acres of land. That's a very small area, and that makes a capital city. How many capital cities can be in every other county?
That's a small area.
Yeah, we can't just run for 200 acres. Everybody has 200 acres at home, especially the arid lands.